What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be talking about Pokemon Legends ZA. And I know we talked a lot about it in the past, but I just wanted to make like an overview video about everything we know so far. Spoiler warning though, there are mentions of some links we have about new Mega Evolutions, so if you don't want to see those, don't watch the video. But we're really close to release date, and I'm very excited. So in this video, I also want to explain to you why I do think it's a good decision to get the game. So let's dive into it, shall we? First thing I want to talk about is the fact that you should be really excited. I'm really excited, but I wasn't always really excited. It took me a while of watching videos to get excited, and I'm worried other people still feel that way, when I really don't think they should. This game is revolutionary for Pokemon. Like, it is so out of this world quality, and we've never had it before in a Pokemon game, okay? And especially Pokemon fans from, like, when Red and Blue came out, they imagine, throwing a Pokeball at a Pokemon in the wild. That is what they imagine Pokemon as a franchise to evolve into. And this is the game that they've probably been wanting. Sure, should we have gotten a game like this sooner? Yes, but now, we can see its full potential with such a high-quality console like the Switch 2. So, I just want to tell everybody that I know, basically, if you have hesitations on the game, don't. And continue watching the video to really understand why, but this game really is revolutionary for Pokemon. It's going to add some really insane things, especially the new Megas. So, like, you're allowed to like what you like, and I'm not telling you or demanding you to like this. I'm just saying that I highly recommend not being hesitant on Pokemon Legends ZA. Okay, you probably know what I'm going to mention, and that's real-time battles. This is one of the reasons that this game is revolutionary. And there's a part of me that wants to see this in the mainline games, but also a part of me that doesn't. Turn-based is so iconic for Pokemon, but real-time is so much more exciting. And I understand this might be a little weird, but there's a part of me that wishes for, like, Gen 10 that they should make it where you can choose if you want turn-based or real-time based. Now, of course, I never in a million years think they would do that because, it would drastically change the game, and it's a simple setting. But, I'm really torn if I would want them to go real-time for just all of the mainline games continuing on, or keeping it turn-based. But, this is real-time battles. Like, battle conditions, like toxic spikes, or like the rock spikes, your Pokemon, those are actually placed around the battlefield that your Pokemon physically have to avoid. Like, that's so insane. And I know I use the word revolutionary a lot, but it's revolutionary for Pokemon. Maybe not some other franchises, but for Pokemon, this is such a big leap. And if you're a longtime Pokemon fan, you have to understand this by now. Now, this is really insane. The quality of all the different moves, and depending on how fast Pokemon are and their speed stat, depends on how well they can dodge attacks, literally. And it's basically just making the game more like the anime. And everyone who's seen a single episode of the anime must know just how awesome the battles feel, because it's a show, it's animated. Pokemon's a game, they can't really do that, but now they are. And this is about the closest we'll probably ever get, and it's insane and relieving to finally know that Pokemon has made it to this step. Next thing I want to mention is more of a smaller fact about the game, but is notable. The character customization. The character customization in this game is insane. Insane. Like, you're looking at it right now, the styles you can make your characters are just crazy. And I love character customization, especially in Pokemon. But Scarlet and Violet were such a letdown because they had terrible character customization. But when you compare it to a game like Pokemon Sword and Shield, amazing customization. So why did they go bad for Scarlet and Violet? I understand they wanted to keep the school uniforms, but it was just lame. So I'm glad they are really branching out with the character customization here. It really is insane how you can just customize your character, make them look, because I love customizing my character in games. The only thing with customizing my character in games is I don't like it when, depending on how my character looks, depends on how the game works. For reasons of, what if there's something I think looks really cool, but doesn't have a cool or good buff? Vice versa. What if I think it looks ugly, but has a really good buff? And luckily, this game's not doing it. And I would never expect a Pokemon game to do that, but judging by Nintendo's recent games that have been doing that, it's a reliever not to have that. So, I mean, character customization is just insane for this game. Another thing I would like to mention is the story. It really seems like it's going to be fantastic. And I'm not going to say it's going to be better than any other Pokemon game we've had, because, you know, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet was an amazing story. You know, it's going to be hard to beat something like that. But it does seem like the story is going to be decent quality. The one fear I have is the story is going to be too complicated, which we really haven't seen much with Pokemon, but we have seen it increase in complicatedness over the years. I mean, Scarlet and Violet's, you know, was even a little complicated to follow. So I have a little bit of a fear that it might be too complicated, because I really do want to enjoy it. But like I said, I haven't played the game, and I don't know how it's going to be presented to me. So maybe it is real easy to, you know, understand the story. But even if the story is terrible, I'm still going to be excited to play in this Pokemon world, you know, with all these cool new mechanics. Like, very excited. So even if the story doesn't, you know, entice me as much as I would like to, I still think I'll be really into the game just, you know, because of the fact, you know, I'm in a Pokemon world. That is a new experience. Next I would like to talk about is the whole DLC situation. And I've already discussed this in a Pokemon video before, but I'm gonna say it again. It's really not that bad, but the reasoning for it isn't as, or makes it not seem as bad as people are saying it is. So the reason the DLC was announced before the game came out is because this game was supposed to come out on Switch 1 only, and that was around this time last year. But they realized that they need to just put it on Switch 2 because the game started getting bigger and bigger. And the DLC was always planned to come out at this time, but the game was already supposed to be out by this time. And they can't really push the DLC because of Pokemon Day, which will probably announce Generation 10, and they want the focus to be on that. So that's the reasoning behind the DLC getting announced before the game's even out. And also, the story content in the DLC won't even be available until till February or something. So, yeah, it's a little bit greedy, but at the same time, it's not surprising, you know, most games get DLC now. The one thing I would like to point out is I'm not stoked about this game getting DLC in general, no matter what way it's being presented, because of the fact that it's a Legends game, and I feel like Legends games shouldn't be DLC. We know from Pokemon Legends Arceus that Legends games are supposed to be experimental almost, to see how the community likes it. And will we probably like this? Yes. But it's not a mainline Pokemon game. And most, if not all, non-mainline Pokemon games don't get paid DLC. Mainline games, yeah, they've started getting DLC, but that's more of a mainline thing. So I'm a little ticked off that's getting DLC, but then if you think on the other hand, that DLC is just more content. And more content is a good thing. Whether you have to pay for it or not, more Pokemon is just great for Pokemon fans. And let me, you know, mention what the DLC is even about, or the little bit we know about it. It has to do with the mythical Pokemon Hoopa, which we've seen very little information about in the whole existence of Hoopa. Hoopa has been not that important at all in any game before, so it will be nice seeing it return. I don't know much about Hoopa myself, but it involves going around the city, finding Hoopa's rings that will take you into a distorted Lumio city, where you might be able to find new Mega Stones, possibly. At least that's what we all think. And, of course, the DLC comes with the new Mega Evolutions of Raichu, and I don't really know how it coming with both, you know, 2 new Mega Evolutions for one Pokemon. That's a little strange, but Raichu's awesome, and it's nice to be, you know, see it getting some love, because it's, you know, more popular, you know, pre-evolved form. Pikachu, obviously, gets a lot more love because it's the series mascot. So, Raichu's normally in the dark. So it is nice to see it getting 2 new Mega Evolutions, but it does make me wonder how it will work, because it's not like this game's being released in a pair. This game's just this game. So, as some way in this game, you're probably going to pick one or the other, because I doubt they let you get both. It just seems a little weird because of that. But the Mega Evolutions for Raichu are called X and Y, you know, which, fun reference to Pokemon X and Y. But yeah, so, overall, the DLC is not really a bad thing, but there is a part of me that does think it might be a little bit unfortunate that we're getting DLC for a non-mainline Pokemon game. But again, it is just more content, so we probably should just be happy about it. Okay, real fast though, I would like to mention the Mega Evolutions that have been leaked. Now, I know a lot of people won't want to hear this, so spoiler warning. You're welcome to skip past this part if you would like to, but personally, I'm quite curious in Mega Evolution leaks because it helps me decide what team I would like to use when I play the game. So, I'm about to just rapid fire all the Pokemon that have been leaked or already confirmed to be getting new Mega Evolutions. Those Pokemon are Clefable, Victory Bell, Mega Starmie, Mega Dragonite, Mega Meganium, Mega Feraligatr, Mega Imbor, Mega Frostlass, Mega Skarmory, Mega Excadrill, Mega Scolipede, Mega Scrafty, Mega Electros, Mega Chandelure, Mega Chestnut, Mega Delphox, Mega Green Ninja, Mega Pyroar, Mega Malamar, Mega Dragalia, Mega Halucha, Mega Floette, and Mega Barbacool, Mega Zygarde, Mega Drampot, and Mega Phalanx. Those are all the Mega Evolutions leaked, and I know some of you just skipped past that part, but it still is very exciting, especially I think so. And the Mega Evolutions that interest me the most are Mega Phalanx, Mega Chandelure, Mega Excadrill, and Mega Scolipede. I just really like this Pokemon, and I'm happy to see that they're probably going to get new Mega Evolutions. It just makes me happy. And I'm just real excited. We're going to, apparently, that's like 20 or 30 something Mega Evolutions. Very exciting. And that's about all I have to say, is I just wanted to tell you they exist. And they're cool. Last thing I want to talk about is just the quality of the game, mainly the Switch 2 edition, is just quite nice. The game looks beautiful. The one flaw I will say is the balconies aren't 3D, and we've had that in every Pokemon game before. So, why did they do that? Don't know. Minor pick from me, but the quality, besides the balconies, are amazing. And I'm glad the game's coming out on both Switch 1 and Switch 2, because if you have a Switch 1, you can also get the game. But for the Switch 2 users, man, we're getting a good-looking game. I mean, on Switch 2, it looks amazing. And they are releasing a bundle with the Switch 2, where you can get the Switch 2 and Pokemon Legends ZA. Which, if you haven't picked a Switch 2 up yet, which you should, I highly recommend the bundle, because you get a great game and a great console together. Nice. So, I'm definitely glad to see the quality of Pokemon is just so much better, or is going to be so much better than Pokemon Scarlet and Violet's release. I mean, even now that Pokemon Scarlet and Violet got that Switch 2 upgrade, they still look a little rough. So, I feel like Nintendo has basically learned their lesson with those games, and have, found out that they need to start doing a better job, which they did. They did a great job at it. Well, I hope you liked the video, and I'm quite excited for the game, and I hope you are too. And when it comes out, I'm going to be making some content on it, so stay tuned to that. Peace out.